G'day guys, how are ya? Hope you're all doing very well. Tonight I'm going to be doing a review. I haven't done a review for a few days now, for reasons that I'm sure for those of you who follow my channel you're well aware of. For this month I'm going to be a little bit slow as far as videos are concerned, but every now and then, like tonight, I'm going to be up and doing a video. So today is going to be a review. I saw this film yesterday. It's been out for a while, but it wasn't until yesterday that I finally got off my ass and saw it. It's an American horror film directed by a Spanish director that I'm a big fan of, named Gonzalo Lopez-Gallego, who also directed a Spanish horror film called King of the Hill. For those of you who are Spanish nuts, you'll know who this guy is. Great director. So for that reason, that's what made me want to go and see it. Now, a lot of people hate this movie, but I thought I'm definitely going to have to make my own opinion up, because other films in the past that a lot of people have hated, I've ended up liking. So hopefully, I was hoping, fingers crossed, that this one would be one of those films that I appreciated more than most. So it's an American horror film, 2011 release. Gonzalo Lopez-Gallego, as I said, is the director, and it's called Apollo 18. Now, Apollo 18 is about NASA. They send up 2 astronauts on this secret expedition. Now, I'm not going to give you the reasons as to why they're up there. That's part of the story, so you're going to have to find that out for yourself. But when they get up there, they realize that they may or may not be alone. They may or may not be alone up there. Someone or something could be up there with them. And this is what brings on a lot of paranoia. And they realize that it's only those 2. No help is coming, in that if something goes wrong, they're all alone. So a lot of claustrophobic feeling comes into the film, and a lot of paranoia, as I said. And these 2 astronauts begin to question their own sanity, and things go from bad to worse. And apparently all of this is the reason why man hasn't gone back up onto the moon. A lot of people ask, since the days where man has walked on the moon, how come more people haven't done this? Well, this movie is supposed to explain why. Now, it's not based on a true story, but it's a cool idea, and it's a cool sort of reason as to why we haven't gone back up. So that's your basic synopsis. I know it's a very brief rundown, but the less I say the better. So please, if you want to know how this film unfolds, go out there and get yourself a copy and see it for yourself. Now, my thoughts on this movie. The reason why a lot of people hated this was the reason why I actually really liked it. Now, a lot of people said it's a slow burner, boring, nothing happens. I couldn't disagree with that anymore. Now, I'm aware that, different people like different things, and I appreciate everybody's tastes, but as far as I'm concerned, I actually thought that this film had a very foreign flavour, and you could really tell that it was a foreign director who made this movie, because it's a lot different from the usual American horror film. There is no gore and no nudity. It is solely atmospheric, and that's what I thought was so good about it. It's something a little bit different, and for those of you who are familiar with foreign cinema, you will appreciate it a lot more, because there are a lot more foreign movies like this than there are American. Now, 2 astronauts up on the moon. If you're expecting a film like Alien or Predator, where these big bad monsters are coming and eating people every 2 seconds, you're going to be disappointed, because it is, as I said, atmospheric, and it's the fear of the unknown, something that hasn't happened but could happen, and that fear plays on you throughout the entire length. And the little world, which pretty much takes place in this little spaceship, becomes smaller and smaller and smaller as they start to realize that something out there could be playing with them. And the fact that you don't see anything pretty much the whole film is its greatest strength, because it does play on your mind. It is a very psychological film, and I actually thought it was very, very scary. Now, it only goes for 83 minutes, so I'm not sure why people complain as to why it was so boring, why it was so slow. For a run time of 83 minutes, you should be able to get through this with no problems. And if you're looking, if you pay careful attention to the details and the subtleties that the film brings, you will appreciate it. And it does stamp itself apart from the majority of the American horror films. And hopefully more foreign directors come into Hollywood, because I actually felt that this is what Hollywood needs, something just a little bit different. Now, cinematography was excellent. It was like you were really up there on the moon with these people, and just the genuine fear that if something goes wrong, what the hell would you do if you're in their shoes? You're up on the moon, you're just completely out of everything. No one is there to help you if something goes wrong. So it's just a really terrifying atmosphere that the film is set in. And I actually really like the idea. I will say that it had more potential than it actually was. It was a good movie, but it could have been a brilliant film. I actually thought if the director, while I say that the pacing wasn't a problem, I actually thought it could have been better if the pacing was a little bit more frantic towards the end, in that it rises up to a very thrilling climax, whereas I feel this film kind of went straight line and then a little bump, and then a little bump, and then a little bump, where it had the potential just to shoot through the roof. I actually felt that it just stayed put, and it played it maybe a little bit safe. Having said that, I actually thought, this is well worth the shot, well worth having a look at. If you've heard that a lot of people hate it, definitely give it a go, because I'm sure that I'm not the only one who enjoyed this movie. If you're a fan, as I said, of psychological horror, this one is a very impressive film. Now, the acting didn't require a great performance from either of the astronauts. I thought the script was decent, it was realistic, the effects were good. I'm not going to give away anything, no spoilers in this review. So it was a really chilling kind of film, but it was done in a very subtle way. So don't expect any gore, don't expect nudity, just expect good old-fashioned suspenseful kind of horror, and the fear of the unknown, fear of what could or couldn't happen. It's just your mind playing tricks on you, and you really do go along on the ride with these two astronauts. So all in all, an underrated film, I must say. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5. I liked it a lot more than a lot of people. My advice is go and see it, at least give it a rental, because you could be like me and you could be surprised. I don't see how it got the hatred that it did, but each to their own. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, I enjoyed it. I actually thought it was really well made, and it is going to come recommended from me. So that's my review of Apollo 18. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.